guys, Tally006 back again with another Call of Duty Black Ops 4 Blackout video. In this video, I want to go through all the perks that you can get. Perks are those little green squares that you find all over the map. They'll give you certain abilities for a short period of time. They really help out in battles. You can always get a leg up on a gunfight if you have these perks activated. So I just want to go through them all, tell you what you get out of it, how long they'll last, and when I use them and my opinions on those specific perks. Alright, let's get to it. So first up, we have awareness. Now awareness makes enemy footsteps louder and just the general sounds louder. Vehicles you can hear from further away, footsteps, gunshots, all that stuff is louder to you. It lasts for 2 minutes, and I tend to use this more late game. I find in the early game when you're in a hot drop zone and there's many people around you, it can get deceiving of where these footsteps are coming from, because generally you can hear footsteps in this game from quite a ways away already. I would say, within 50 meters around you, you can hear people walking around. Like, I've been in buildings and can hear footsteps. I'll look out the window in that direction and there's nobody to be found. You go up over the hill and they're like running down on the other side of the hill. So awareness like doubles that distance, so you don't necessarily know how far away these guys actually are. So I tend to use this late game when it's more in the open field, just for a directional purpose, so I can kind of know what direction those guys are hiding behind those trees or whatever. It's a good perk. I use it, but really specific in those situations of when I use it. Moving on, we have Brawler. Brawler lasts for 4 minutes, and what happens here is it increases how much damage you do when you make a melee attack, and it also gives you health back for landing that melee attack. This is a perk that's generally used really early game, right off that hot drop. You might not have a gun yet, or maybe you do have a gun and you're in a close quarter gunfight. If you just throw in that melee attack, you get that extra health, and it might be the difference between, a life or death situation in a close quarter battle. I don't generally pick this up myself. I never really found myself where I'm like, oh, I really wish I had Brawler right now. I will say that it helps out with the Fist Fighter Dark Ops challenge, when you have to kill somebody with just your fists. Otherwise, I tend to walk right over this one. Next, we have Consumer. Consumer drops the use time for health and consumable items by 50%, so that trauma kit's going to come off a lot quicker. It lasts for 5 minutes. This is really nice to have if you're late game, especially in solos, when that late game there's 4 or 5 guys left in a really small circle and you're getting shot from multiple angles. It's nice to get those heals off really quick, especially if you have trauma kits stacked up. Trauma kits take about 3 to 5 seconds to pop, so to get that off in the time it would take you to get a med kit off really comes in big. I don't generally look out for Consumer. If I see it, I pick it up and I'll pop it right away, because you never know when you're going to get into those gunfights. So it's a good perk. I consider it one of those ones that I'll pick up every time and I'll just use every time. I don't even think about it. It's not one that I'm like actively looking for though. Next on the list, we have Dead Silence. Dead Silence makes your footsteps considerably lower volume to other players. This is by far the most useful, most powerful perk that they have. It used to last for 4 minutes, which was crazy. They've dropped it down to 2. And yeah, pick this up every time you see it. I try to, now that it's only 2 minutes, I try to save it for when I hear, say I have awareness on and I can hear a guy kind of over the hill, but I'm not sure how far away he actually is. I'll pop Dead Silence then to run over the hill and try to get a drop on him. Otherwise, I'm trying to save this for late game. Most people are going to be running awareness, listening for those for those footsteps. One thing to note is that if you have dead silence on and another person has awareness, it doesn't even out. You're still going to be deaf to them, so no worries. Dead silence is the upper hand in all situations. Pick this up every time. Make room for dead silence every time. If your inventory is full, drop that cluster grenade, because the dead silence is going to help you out a lot more than that cluster grenade. Here we have Engineer. Engineer reveals nearby equipment and vehicles. So you can see that ATV, you can see that cargo truck or helicopter through walls. If you're on the outskirts of the map and you know you're going to get pushed by the zone, you can get to that vehicle right away to get to the safe zone. The unsung hero about this perk is that seeing equipment through walls as well. If you're pushing somebody, they're in a building, they might have a barricade up or a trophy system set up, so your grenades will be useless. You can see those through those walls, get them down before the guys ever have a chance to counter your attack. So it helps out really well there. Lasts for 4 minutes. Use it if you need to. I tend to pick it up only at the beginning of the games. This next perk is kind of the unsung hero of Blackout, Iron Lung. It increases steady time when using the sniper and tactical rifles, as well as underwater breathe time. Now, a lot of people don't use this because they think it's just going to help you out with, getting over that lake. You can get down to the bottom and get across the whole river without coming up for air. You can hide under the water. People think that's the only reason for it, but the steady aim when you breathe in with your sniper rifle and you take that breath, steady your aim, that lasts longer, which is huge when you have a sniper rifle in the late game. You can get that shot, make sure that hits the head. Sniper rifles are dealing 194 damage for headshots with no armor on half the time. I still think they're a little broken, but nonetheless, again, this lasts for 5 minutes, and it's good to have. I pick it up, especially if I have those sniper rifles. I'll actively look for Iron Lungs if I have a sniper rifle. Next we have Medic. Medic's kind of a weird one. What Medic does is it allows you to revive and heal faster. So similar to Consumer, you can get those heals off a lot quicker. And healing items give more health, and downed allies can be revived with more health. So, instead of that first aid doing 25 extra health, it'll do more. I'm not even sure how much more it does. I don't think it doubles. Yeah, it might double. First aid's 50, medkit's 100. I don't actually use this outside of duos or squads. I generally use medic for when my teammates get downed, I can revive them. Usually they end up with 50 health after the revive. With medic on, it jumps up to 100, and then they only have to take that one med kit to get back up to full health. It's really useful in squads and duos. I pick it up, I use it all the time. Again, it lasts for 4 minutes on this one. Pick it up, especially in squads. Next we have Looter. Looter is very similar to Engineer. It allows you to see lootable items and stashes, such as stashes like this, the cargo crates, the supply drops, or the med bags, the ammo boxes. All that stuff becomes illuminated. You can see it through walls. This lasts for 2 minutes, and it's good. If you're in one of those big buildings like, say, factory here or fracking tower, really helps out because you can see if there's loot in that underground area. Construction site, you can see all that stuff through the different floors. Definitely use Looter in that early game to find out where all those best loot is and be there first to get it. Mobility is next. It's a big one. Faster weapon swapping and movement. No fall damage, which is huge. And then being able to use fire weapons and equipment, such as trophy systems, barricades. You can pop those while sprinting. And of course, move faster when reloading, which is big in those fights when you're peeking around rocks. To be able to strafe faster is really huge. Lasts for 5 minutes. It's huge. I've never really used this for the specific reasons that it's used for. I kind of just grab it and put it on just so it's there if I need it. I don't even think about, oh, I gotta pop mobility right now so I can, fast peek this tree. It's just one that gets put on every time. Moving on to Outlander. Outlander lets you take less damage to the collapse, and you can move faster when in the collapse. This is pretty big if you land on those outskirts again and you're getting pushed by the collapse. It only lasts for a minute and a half, or 2.5 minutes. Sorry. It's one of those things that you'd only use it if you need to use it when you're getting pushed by the collapse. It's generally well populated on those outskirts. I think that's kind of where you'd find it most. So yeah, use it if you need to. Next, Paranoia. Paranoia is big. Paranoia gives you an audio alert when someone has their sights on you. So, late game, I like putting it on. That sound will come directional. If you have a really good headset, you'll be able to pinpoint where that sights are coming in on you from. Lasts for 4 minutes. Recommend picking it up every time. I'll even stack a couple. Next we have Skulker. Skulker allows you to move faster while in prone or crouched position. Lasts for 3 minutes. This is really big because not only are you moving faster while crouched, when you're crouched your steps are considerably quieter, so it's kind of like having another dead silence. I try not to mix and match those. If I have Skulker running, I'll save my dead silence until after. And yeah, you move quite a bit faster with Skulker. Like, it's almost like you're sprinting while crouched, and then yeah, you get those quieter footsteps. I use Skulker all the time. I pick it up, I'll stack a couple, but just make sure you don't waste it and pop it on during dead silence. Last but not least, Squad Link. Squad Link allows you to see your teammates through walls. The really only time or reason to use this would be, if you're in construction yard or cargo docks or something like that, and you're playing squads and you guys are kind of all spread out. It's nice to know where they are. If a player goes down in a building, you can find them a lot quicker. That kind of stuff. Otherwise, I don't really pick it up. If I pick it up by accident, I'll just pop it if I have inventory space. Otherwise, I'm dropping it to get out of there. And that's all the perks and what I think about them. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Peace, guys.